Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be covering both WWE SmackDown and AEW Rampage. Now, I'm going to be covering WrestleMania more than likely on Tuesday. I'm going to take Monday off due to the eclipse, so not going to try to cover it there. So, just for today, gonna do SmackDown and Rampage. No Collision this week because I missed it because it was on very, very late. My apologies. So, we're gonna start off SmackDown with the Kevin Owens show with his special guest, Randy Orton. And, Kevin Owens does the usual shtick. Oh, obviously, both of us want to be United States champion. But we do have one common trait. We both hate Logan Paul, which gets an F you Logan chant going, which that's funny. Then Kevin Owens asked, alright, on a scale of 1 to 10, how disgusting do you find Logan Paul? Randy Orton answers, oh, that's easy. That's an 11. So they start kind of shooting the shit anymore. On the Titantron, we see Logan Paul, and he's next door at the Link. This show takes place at the Wells Fargo Center, which it's like within walking distance. So that's pretty cool. Logan Paul then pretty much comments, oh, you're so buddy-buddy now, huh? You're like two little toddlers while I'm over here building empires, and I'm 2 steps ahead of you at all times. And then Kevin Owens turns to Randy Orton and says, man, this dude talks a lot of trash for someone who's right across the street. You thinking what I'm thinking? Randy turns to him. I think I am. They both leave, get out of the ring, go through the crowd, and coming from under the ring a little late are Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. And they give chase to Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. We then cut to outside. Kevin Owens is trying to steal a car, which, that's odd. But then we see Randy Orton roll up. He's in a golf cart. Kevin Owens gets in the back. They drive off. And Waller and Theory give chase. That'll be paid off a little later in, I think, one of the best segments on the show. We then go to pretty much the most pointless battle royal I've ever seen. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And it included, Pretty Deadly, Omos was in there, Ivar, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, Otis and Akira Tozawa, a who's who of people who are not making the WrestleMania card and are not booked for WrestleMania. Ultimately, it comes down to 4 men. Ricochet, who that's very surprising, Akira Tozawa, Ivar, and Bronson Reed. Tozawa ends up eliminating Ricochet on his own, which that was impressive. Then it's pretty much left to it's Otis, Akira Tozawa, Bronson Reed, and Ivar. And both big men eliminate pretty much both members of Alpha Academy, with Tozawa pretty much landing on Otis's head. I hope he's okay. Big men trade shots for a little bit. Ivar goes for the Doomsault, misses, clothesline over the top. Your winner, Bronson Reed. And I was kind of hoping he'd be in a match at WrestleMania. Maybe a little bit of a pointless match, but I think he deserves it. So, congratulations, Bronson Reed. Hopefully, this leads to something more for you. We then get footage of Logan Paul backstage. He is now in the Wells Fargo Center. And then we get a Final Testament promo, pretty much calling Lashley an easy target. That's why they've been targeting him. We're whining about your WrestleMania spot last year. He won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and just came out with the trophy. Sunday night, we're going to light you up with shots you'll carry for the rest of your life. So, very intimidating words from Karrion Kross. I'm definitely looking forward to that match. That match is going to be chaos incarnate, and I'm ready. We then get an in-arena Logan Paul promo. Pretty much insulting the Philadelphia crowd. And pretty much calling them, Owens and Orton, bedfellows, because you'll like attracts like. And wrestling's two dumbest dudes in WWE. While you're looking at the mastermind. Playing a game of cat and mouse. And right now, in the link, I've got a camera where Waller and Theory are about to jump Owens and Orton. So we go to that camera shot. You got Theory and Waller kind of meandering around the WrestleMania stage. They turn to the camera and say, "Boss, you're going to hate us for this, but we lost Orton and Owens." And Logan Paul's like, "Oh, what do you mean? What are you talking about?" Then from underneath the ring, you got Kevin Owens on one side, Randy Orton on the other. And you hear Waller saying, "Boss, Kevin Owens." And then Logan Paul's like, "Oh." Looks around the ring, sees both of them, tries to beeline it out of the arena, gets cut off by Kevin Owens, gets thrown back into the ring, an uppercut by Randy Orton, that was awesome, a stutter by Kevin Owens, which leads to the RKO by Randy Orton. And honestly, that was a pretty fun go-home segment. More than likely, Logan Paul is going to win this. In which, I don't mind. We then cut to backstage, and Dragon Lee has been taken out by an unknown assailant. Carlito is right next to him saying, "I don't know, I think it was Santos Escobar." More than likely it was Carlito. And I'll tell you why a little later. And then we get to see the rest of the LWO come out, check on them. Then Carlito tells Zelina Vega and Rey Mysterio to go out there, get it done. I'll stay with Dragon Lee. So we get our next match. It's Zelina Vega taking on Elektra Lopez. And joining Elektra Lopez is not only Santos Escobar, but it's also Dominic Mysterio and Andrade. So, LWO a little bit outnumbered here. And this match was fine for what it was. Like, I haven't seen that much of an Elektra Lopez match. I think this is my first of hers. And she definitely has the basics. Zelina Vega definitely led this match a little bit more. Zelina Vega goes for a crossbody. That gets caught. An Electa Fire, which that's a great name for a finish, but only gets a 2 count. Zelina Vega then fights back. It's a 619 to her knee, and then a tornado DDT. But as Zelina Vega's going for the pin, Dominic Mysterio gets on the apron, distracting the ref. Then Rey Mysterio takes on Dom, which that gives Elektra Lopez enough time to get back up, hit the Electra Shock, which is another great name for a finisher, for Elektra Lopez to get the win. Post-match, Dom and Santos continue their attack on Rey. Andrade's kind of meandering in the back. He kind of pulls Dom away and is like, "Dude, what are you doing? Listen to your dad." And then Dom's like, "What? What do you mean?" Then Andrade hits Dom, throws Santos over the top rope, And, yeah, he embraces Rey Mysterio. And he and Zelina Vega reunite. As Zelina Vega was Andrade's manager in his original WWE run. So, honestly, that gets an up from me. That's awesome. We then get a very interesting, we get Naomi and Bianca. They're walking backstage. Then they head out to the ring. With Bianca going over her history with Damage Control, saying how much I couldn't do this on my own for much longer, so I recruited Naomi. And we're going to go wild on Damage Control. Damage Control needs to be stopped, but we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it ourselves. So let us introduce you to the new face of WWE, Jade Cargill. And she gets her full entrance. It's awesome. WWE are giving her the spotlight and running with it. This is great. So Jade Cargill in the ring. She has a mic. Thanks both. Special shout out to Damage Control. You stepped up to get stepped on. At WrestleMania, I'm going to show my stuff. And with us, the Big Three, which is an interesting name, we're going to show that there's no more Damage Control. And Jade finishes up with saying, Damage Control, now you're in the eye of the storm. Ooh, that's a good little stinger right there at the end. I love that. That's great. We then cut to Jey Uso. He's backstage getting ready for his main event match, in which he says, bloodline drama continues. I see, and you in the arena, you're about to see Jey get his beat down on the bloodline. So, nice, simple little promo from Jey. We then cut to backstage with Rey Mysterio, Zelina Vega, and Andrade. Then Carlito comes in, pretty much says, look, it is revealed to them that Dragon Lee is not cleared to compete for WrestleMania. And Andrade, pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for? Volunteers his services for WrestleMania. That gets a nice big pop. Then Carlito comes in with a little late news about Dragon Lee. And Zelina Vega interrupting, saying, yeah. And Andrade stepped up. And while it does look like Carlito's hyping up this team, I'm probably going to be certain Carlito's turning on the LWO. Will he join Santos Escobar? I don't know. He definitely probably would fit in, but we'll see. We then get a preview tag team match player as New Catch Republic, that's Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, take on A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And this was a nice little TV matchup. Everyone worked really, really well together. And then after the Burning Hammer, which is a great name for a finisher, your winners, the New Catch Republic. And this brings out the Judgment Day. Not just Priest and Balor, but also JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio. They attacked not only the New Catch Republic, but A-Town Down Under, softening them up for Sunday. Including a finish. Everyone hitting their finishers on Tyler Bate, which that looked like it hurt. Then we get a nice little Bayley promo talking about how, she bailed Damage Control to try to get others over. And for a while we succeeded. We were on top of the world. Then suddenly Asuka and Kairi Sane came in, and we weren't the same. and I became an outcast. Even after my Rumble win, you didn't believe in me, and you kept questioning if any of it was real. While I did build damage control, I now do anything to break them up. And I'm stronger than ever, and at WrestleMania, Io learns that the hard way. Ooh, nice little snappy promo from Bayley. We then see Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. Solo's making preparations for the main event. We then get an LA Knight in-ring promo, in which he calls out AJ Styles. I'm feeling fresh. I do think you're phenomenal at not showing up, and phenomenal at getting stomped out by me. At WrestleMania, there's no more time for running, and ever since you've been back, you've been doing nothing more than cry about me. On Sunday, I'm going to give you everything to talk about. So, nice little snappy promo from LA Knight. We then get a backstage promo from Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Pretty much saying, on Sunday, Final Testament, there's nowhere to hide. We're going to finish this in Philly in a big old street fight. So, nice establishing rules. I do believe that went a little bit longer, but I think I missed something. But anyway, we go to our main event, as it's main event Jey Uso taking on his little brother, Solo Sikoa. And this match was, I'd say, a little bit of a preview of what's going on Saturday, Sunday. Definitely a really good back and forth. A bit of a weird Samoan drop by Jimmy. Like, maybe he didn't distribute Solo's weight right, and it just looked a little weird. Solo with a nasty Uranagi on the ring apron. Solo then does a really nice Samoan drop. Goes for a Samoan... Now, Jey goes for a spear. That gets pretty much caught into another Samoan drop. Solo ready with the spike. He whiffs. Jey with a couple of super kicks. A spear. He's up for the Uso splash. But out comes Brother Jimmy, who then goes right after Jey Uso. So your winner by DQ is Jey Uso. The Jimmy beatdown continues. They have, both Jimmy and Solo have Jey up for a Samoan spike. But before that could happen, out comes Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. They brawl with the Bloodline. Cody with a nice looking cutter, which runs off the Bloodline. We then get a nice, easy... then we get Cody Rhodes taking off his weight belt, and then everybody pretty much whipping Jimmy, which that was... that looks rough. Then Cody with a crossroads. He gives it to Seth. He starts whipping Jimmy. And we get an oh-so splash to end the beatdown. Cody then grabs a microphone, says, 40 years of WrestleMania. Can you feel that? Tomorrow, me and Seth are going to slap The Rock so hard, he's going to remember he's the people's champ. And on Sunday, I'm going to dethrone Roman Reigns. That's right, I'm fighting for everyone who believes in me. On Sunday, one story ends and another one starts. Oh, what a great promo from Cody Rhodes. Very good, very fired up. And it gets me even more excited and also kind of nervous for the main event. Because, go home maths pretty much says Roman's retaining, in which I hope not. Like, I really, really hope not. I am sick and tired of the Roman Reigns reign. It's been so stale lately. So, hopefully we get a fresh feud with Cody Rhodes, maybe even with The Rock. Although we'll get to that one either on Monday or Tuesday for my WrestleMania review. Stay tuned for that one. We then finish up with AEW Rampage, and we start off with a very weird match, as it's Malachi Black taking on Christopher Daniels. It has been far too long since I've seen a Malachi Black singles match, and this was a ton of fun. Like, this was a really good back and forth match. Maybe they gave Christopher Daniels a little too much offense, but every time Christopher went for Angel's Wings, Malachi had a counter for it, and Buddy Matthews kept getting involved until the ref finally sees what he's been doing and throws him out of the arena. Malachi Black then with a quick "the end," and your winner, Malachi Black. So it does look like we're going to be seeing who are we potentially seeing? Malachi versus Hook? No, not Hook. Not Eddie Kingston, not Okada. I forget who we had to stare down with recently, but he's going for a singles title. Anyway, we get an in-ring Roderick Strong promo before this next match. He introduces an opponent, Landon Lightning. Then he takes a few ribs at his name and the place where he's at. Then he asks Lash, "How good of chances are you think that you're going to beat me?" And Lightning says, "I feel like my chances are good." Then Roderick's final retort is, "Now that I see you're crazy, I know you're nuts." So, nice little final zinger. That leads us to our next matchup, as it's Roderick Strong versus London Lightning. Who, honestly, I'm going to say this. London Lightning impressed in his first matchup. Definitely kept up with Roderick Strong. Although, eventually, out comes Wardlow. Who just, it's a big old clothesline on the outside with the ref distracted. They go back in. Roderick Strong puts in the cloverleaf for the submission victory for Roderick Strong. Definitely a good showing for Mr. Lightning. Hopefully, we do see him back in the near future. We then go backstage for an interview with legit Layla Hirsch. It's been far too long since she's been on AEW TV, saying she has the best record in Ring of Honor, but I keep falling short when things are on the line. So I'm here on Rampage to pick myself back up, and I'm here to face the best. So Julie Hart, I want an open house challenge next week against you. See you there. So Layla Hirsch shooting for the top. I like that. It definitely will be a good challenge for Julia Hart. We then get a very weird matchup between Serena Deeb and Trish Adora. Not saying it was bad, but it was definitely very slow and methodical, if that makes any sense. Like, it was still good. You still had Serena Deeb targeting certain limbs. Trish Adora would fight back some. She tries for the full Nelson Slam. That gets blocked. Serena Deeb with a suplex into the Serenity Lock for the submission victory. We then get kind of a vignette-ish promo from Julia Hart, pretty much accepting Layla Hirsch's challenge. pretty much saying, respect you for asking for this match, but understand it's not going to go your way because the house always wins. So, nice, easy promo from them. We then get Saraya, Zach Clayton, and, not Trisha Dora, I forgot her other name. They're having a promo with Saraya targeting Ruby, saying, Ruby, how could you turn your back on us? I've been with you since day one. I can't believe you would do this to me. So then not Zach Clayton. It's Saraya's little brother calling out Cool Hand Ange. It's pretty much saying, you're Canadian with some nuts. Next week, I'm taking everything from you. That's not just a promise. That's not just a spoiler. That's a promise. So, nice threatening promo there. We then get a very interesting main event, as it's a Final Four elimination challenge coinciding with the big tournament going on. As we got Daniel Garcia taking on Brian Keith, Action Andretti, and Commander. And honestly, this was a very fun, yet kind of chaotic match, if that makes any sense. Lots of good back and forth. Garcia and Brian Keith worked really well together. Action Andretti works well with anybody. Commander definitely had some issues with working with Daniel Garcia, but ultimately, your ultimate winner via the Burning Hammer into a knee bar is Daniel Garcia, the last man standing. So it looks to intend that AEW intends to keep Daniel Garcia kind of near the top. So, yeah, we'll see what happens going forward. Overall, a very interesting couple of days of wrestling. As I said, coming up either Monday or Tuesday, more than likely Tuesday, gonna be my doubleheader WrestleMania review. Hopefully you're ready for that one. And until then, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.